You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Welcome to Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. Join the Podcast Mogul Phil Better as he interviews successful entrepreneurs that make their living in the digital world. Now, let's join your host, Phil Better, and his special guest today on Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast.
Welcome back to another special transformative episode of Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast, coming live from the Brand Up Summit in Montreal 2024. This is, of course, episode 4 with an amazing guest who's a true healer and guide in the world of holistic wellness. As the owner of Divine Light Massage, she's created a sanctuary for clients to experience healing on both a physical and emotional level. Her journey began in 2020 with a profound Reiki session that revealed a beautiful gift within inside herself, a gift she now shares with others through a variety of healing modalities. Her mission is to empower individuals on their unique wellness and spiritual journey, helping them reconnect with their inner peace and discover the safe space they hold within. A Divine Light Massage. Every session is more than just healing. It's an opportunity for self-discovery, personal growth, and spiritual transformation. Get ready to be inspired by her story, her mission, and her unwavering passion for helping others heal and thrive. Please join me in welcoming the incredible Krystal. Let's go to the tape.
Welcome back to another episode of Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast, this special Brand Up Summit Edition episodes. Today we have Krystal Peterson here, and she's going to give us a quick little 30-second intro.
Oh boy.
About who you are and what you do.
Okay, so my name is Krystal Peterson. I am a massage therapist, Reiki practitioner, holistic wellness provider that's located in Laval. That's pretty much all that I have for now. So that's
perfect. That's exactly it. We're just letting the audience know who you are. So I'm going to start with the first set of questions that we have here. My first question is, I'm always interested, what inspired you to start your brand and what was your initial vision?
So back in 2020, I had my first Reiki session, that was performed on me, and it was really transformative. It really, really changed my life, and it unlocked a gift in me that I didn't know that I had. Am I speaking close enough?
You're fine. If you're not, I would be like...
Okay. So it really transformed my life, and I realized that I had this slew of gifts that were within me that I didn't realize that I had, and that's it. That's it. So that's what originally started. That's what originally inspired me to do it. And so when I did the Reiki session, I decided to try my hand at Reiki, and I got a diploma, but quickly realized that I have a talent for tuning into the frequency of the person and their body who was on my table. So like I had told you before, I started with a spare bedroom in my house that I had, and I grew the company from there.
I love that. With growing that company, a lot of people use different methods to grow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, how the one that I always enjoy is storytelling. And how has storytelling, or what role does storytelling play in your brand to communicate your story to the audience?
Okay, so storytelling allows me to be creative in ways that I didn't even know I could be, which I'm really grateful for, because it allows me to pass on my story, my message in a way that I never even thought of, especially with social media and reels and stuff like that. It gives me an outlet for creativity that I didn't even know that I had inside of me. And telling my story also allows me to be authentic with my clients, and they get to know a bit about me before even meeting me in a way that isn't just like a professional mask. So, like when things are hard in my life, I tell my clients and my followers, and oftentimes it inspires them to feel safe with me. So if I'm going through something hard and I'm vocal about it on my social media, a lot of times people will realize that it's okay for them to be vulnerable as well. So I like getting my story out in that way. And it also gives me great exposure when my reels, or if I tell a story verbally to somebody and it resonates with them, well, they share it with others. And so it gets my name out even more.
I love that. Storytelling is such an important part of brand building.
And it's really fun too.
Oh, yeah.
It's really fun, especially with, like I said, reels. Nowadays, you have so much creativity.
Yeah. Speaking of that creativity, how do you stay innovative while staying true to your brand's core values?
So really what I do is I do my research and I see what matches up with my core values and I do that. So perfect example was that, and it's actually funny, that one of the women who was here today was talking about AI. So in the beginning, I was really resistant to like any social media, any chat GPT, anything like that. And I was like, no, I'm going to do it the old school way by like knocking on doors and handing out flyers and giving out cards. And then I was like, that's just going to make me look like a crazy person in this day and age. Like, could you imagine be like, hey, do you want a massage? You know what I mean?
There are a few people out there, I think, who may say yes to you, but they may not be the clients that you want.
They are definitely not the clients I want. Do you hear that? Okay. But honestly, I was really glad that I took that leap and decided to move more online and into a social media space. And I won't lie, now I do use ChatGPT and AI, and it's very helpful. But I try out new ideas. And if I like it, if it vibes with me, then it stays and I keep doing that thing. And I like to do my research and see what I do enjoy and what I don't enjoy. I don't know if I'm answering your question correctly.
You're good.
Okay. So
any answer is the right answer.
So I just like to basically try my hand at random things. I do my research and I figure out that, okay, this is what people are doing nowadays, and I try it. And if it works, then it works. And if it doesn't, then I just let it go. I stay very much in the flow with what the universe provides for me.
I like that. And now that you've embraced, social media, you're not the weird person asking if you want a massage while knocking on a door, which we're thankful for.
Yeah, so am I. Because that would have been a really bad way to go about it.
Yeah, that would have been interesting. But I want to know, like, how do you handle the feedback, both positive and negative, when you post something on social media about your brand, about who you are, you're being authentic, and then you may have a troll that jumps in and says something that's not so nice, or you have the overwhelmingly nice people that just flood you with love. How do you deal with that kind of feedback?
I welcome all kinds of feedback, because if I'm doing something wrong, or if I'm doing something not in a way that is conducive to what it is that I want to do, I want to know about it so that way I can fix it. And this way I can learn from it and I can grow to be a better person, not just as a businesswoman, but as like even my own personal life. I can grow and I can use it and I can change. So positive feedback, obviously, I love that shit. Keep it coming. Negative feedback, it's still worth it for me. And it's still worthy because even if they're trolling, there's still truth as to what they're saying. Whether I see it or not, what they're saying somewhere in the world resonates with them. And so that is an image or whatever they're trolling about that I'm actually giving out that I'm not consciously aware of. So I appreciate that kind of stuff. And any feedback, any comments, anything that you guys want to give me, I love it all.
With my final question, I'm curious here. What has been the biggest lesson you've learned from building your own brand?
It's really to stay in the flow of the universe. I've been building my business for the past 2 or 3 years now, and in these years, I've had so many changes that it can make your head spin. And when one of the women who was speaking, she was like, "Who here has hit rock bottom?" And I was like, "Oh, girl, me."
Who hasn't hit rock bottom? Or likely.
But if I had resisted those changes, then there would be no more Divine Light Massage, and I would have no more confidence to share my gifts. So I would have shut it down the first time that it didn't go the way I envisioned it, and I would have given up on not just the business, but myself as well. I've changed locations multiple times. I've changed my vision multiple times, and I'll continue to do so because that's who I am. I always accommodate my clients to the best of my capabilities, and my top priority is their care and comfort. But this business is for me, myself, and I. And so I'm going to continue running it the way that works for me. And that brings me the greatest joy. And going with the direction the universe pushes me to is what brings me joy, because I trust fully that God/universe/source will land me where I'm meant to be when I'm supposed to be there at exactly the right time.
Like you were supposed to be on this podcast at this exact moment. I love it.
Exactly. And everything in life is a learning experience, including business and personal things. So I'm always grateful for that.
I love it. Those are some great wisdom words to end on.
Thanks.
Krystal, I want to thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure chatting with you. We're going to have you back on the podcast for a full episode.
Right.
Won't know any of the questions either. No, I'm kidding. I may tell you one of them.
That's fine, as long as you are okay with a lot of ands.
I'm a podcaster. That's 90% of my job. As I mentioned that, and I do the ums and ahs. I want to thank you, Krystal, for being here. It was a pleasure chatting with you.
Thank you for having me.
To my audience, make sure you check out the show notes, because they'll be all there to connect with the most amazing divine massage light. It's a divine light massage?
Divine Light Massage, and I'm located in Laval.
Yes, so for those Montrealers, you can just drive a couple minutes north to go there. But of course, the show notes will have everything there for you. And I want to thank you again for being here. Thank you for listening. And as always, remember to invest in yourself.
Thank you so much for listening to this special episode of Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast at the Brand Up Summit Montreal 2024. I want to give a big shout out to our guest, Krystal, for sharing her expertise and inspiring us with her journey. I didn't get a massage at that place. I should have, but time was ticking and I needed to get to the next episode. But before we sign off, Krystal has a special offer for just our listeners when you book her services. So if you are in the Montreal region or coming to the Laval, Montreal region, all you have to do is you'll receive a 15% off by mentioning that you heard about her on this podcast. Be sure to fill out the "Where did you hear about us?" section on our booking page to claim that discount. So all you have to do is Phil's podcast, Invest in Yourself, or the Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. Of course, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you like and follow us over on Spotify. Leave us that 5-star review to help others find this podcast. I thank you so much for listening. Hope you've taken away amazing insight from this episode. And remember to always invest in yourself.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.